Before we step into the fairy realm, don't forget to subscribe for more romantic fantasy tales whispered in the quiet hours of the night. Your next story awaits just beyond the veil. Midnight Tea in the Faerie Court. It began with a letter written in silver ink, folded into a paper crane, and delivered by a moth with wings like stained glass. Alira found it on her windowsill just past midnight, glowing faintly against the fog of the moor. She did not remember falling asleep, but she had the disconcerting sensation of having woken up from a dream not her own. She unfolded the crane. The letter read, "The Court of the Midnight Bloom requests your presence at tea. Dress warmly." No signature, no address. But Elira knew somehow where she was meant to go. The journey through the moor was silent save for the sound of her boots crunching frost-bitten grass. The world was lit by a violet moon, unnatural and humming faintly in her chest. As she passed beneath the old willows, they bowed their branches low, as if in greeting or warning. She could not tell. She wore a blue velvet cloak and carried a satchel with a flask of honeyed tea, though she suspected she would not need it. The court would provide its own. When she stepped past the last bramble that marked the border of the human world, the air changed. Thicker, headier, sweet like rose water and wine left out too long. She had entered the realm of the Fae. The court appeared not as a castle, but as a garden blooming in impossible midnight. Black lilies, white thorns, golden vines that pulsed like they had veins. Lanterns floated through the air like jellyfish, casting soft silver light. A long table stretched between two massive yew trees, set with teacups, sugar bowls, and cakes shaped like moons and stars. And at the head of the table sat him. He did not rise as she approached, but his eyes, like candle flames caught in amber, watched her with interest. He wore a crown of winter roses and robes that shimmered between twilight blue and storm-cloud gray. "Illyra of the Moor," he said, "you honor us." She swallowed. "You sent a moth." A ghost of a smile. She volunteered. She sat across from him, hands folded in her lap. "Why am I here?" "To share tea, naturally." He poured a clear liquid into her cup. It steamed with the scent of bergamot and something older, wild and cold. "Drink, and I'll answer one question." She hesitated, then sipped. A shiver ran through her, but not unpleasant. "Who are you?" Don't forget to subscribe for more romantic fantasy tales whispered in the quiet hours of the night. Your next story awaits just beyond the veil. Prince Arian, heir to the court of Midnight Bloom, and your admirer. Elira nearly choked. "What?" He tilted his head. "You've walked our borders for years, left us gifts in the hollows of trees, sang songs when you thought no one listened. Did you not know we were watching?" Her face flushed. "Those were just things I did. I never meant to enchant a Fey prince." She looked at him then, really looked. His features were sharp, beautiful in the inhuman way of moonlight on broken glass. But his expression was soft, honest. "I don't even know you," she said. "Then let us remedy that." Midnight stretched long in the fairy court. Time did not behave as it should. With each shared cup, she asked a question, and he answered in riddles, poems, and sometimes startling truths. He asked none of her, except once. "Will you come again?" She did. Over the weeks that followed, Elira returned again and again to the Midnight Court. Each visit blurred the lines of dream and waking. She danced with shadows and laughed with flowers that whispered jokes only she could hear. Arian was always waiting, always offering tea, and slowly, gently, something unfurled between them. She told him stories of the human world. He told her of the stars that never died, only slept, waiting to be named. They played chess with living pieces, watched dreams hatch from eggs in the boughs of the dream tree. Once he gave her a cloak made from twilight. Another time, a kiss on the back of her hand that burned long after. But the Fae are not known for offering gifts freely. On the 13th night, she found the garden quiet. No lanterns, no laughter. Arian sat alone, staring into his cup. "What's wrong?" He looked up slowly. "The court wants a price." Her heart turned to ice. "What kind of price?" "A name, yours." She stepped back. "You know my name." "A mortal name is one thing. The name of your soul is another." If you give it, you stay. If you don't, you forget. She stared. Forget you? Forget everything. The garden, the tea, me. He stood and the air trembled. You were never meant to come this often. I broke the rules by letting you. I thought I could keep you without asking. Don't forget to subscribe for more romantic fantasy tales, whispered in the quiet hours of the night. Your next story awaits, just beyond the veil. I was wrong. Her voice was a whisper. What would happen if I gave it? You would be Fae, not mortal, bound to the court. You would live forever, but never walk in sunlight again. Never feel the weight of time. Never go home. She looked at the garden, dimming now, as if in mourning. Then at him. He looked afraid. I need time, she said. He nodded once. Midnight tomorrow. That's all we have. She didn't sleep. She walked the moor until dawn, then sat by the edge of the willow grove, tracing her fingers over roots and stones. Her world, full of rain and storms and aging, was small but hers. Yet in that other world, something had awakened, a warmth, a wonder, and love. But what is love if it costs you yourself? As the next midnight approached, she returned. He was waiting as always beneath the yew trees, but his crown was gone. I cannot ask you to choose, he said, so I will give you this. He reached into the folds of his robe and withdrew a vial, glowing faintly violet. Drink this, and you will remember me in your dreams. Not in waking. You will keep your name. You will walk the world unchanged. She took it, stared at it. But you will fade. Yes, but only from your waking days. I will still wait for you, every night you dream. Her hands trembled. Or, he said, you may speak your name to me, and be mine forever. She closed her eyes. The garden held its breath. Then she stepped forward and kissed him, softly like the first touch of rain, and whispered her name. The stars burst into bloom. Years passed, but none remembered Elira of the moor. Her cottage stood empty, wildflowers growing in the hearth. But some nights travelers heard laughter from deep in the willows, and once a moth with wings like stained glass was seen resting on the windowsill of another dreaming girl. The letter read, The court of the midnight bloom requests your presence at tea. Dress warmly. And so it begins again. And so the moon sets over the Faerie Court. But every ending is only a door to the next tale. If this story touched your heart, stirred your dreams, or made you believe in magic again, leave a like and share it with a fellow dreamer. Subscribe to return to the realm anytime. There's always a place at the tea table for you. Until next time, keep your eyes on the willows and your heart open to wonder.